Yo, what's good, Nest fam? Ever walk into your house and feel like your stuff is secretly plotting against you? Piles of old gadgets, clothes you swear you'll wear someday, and that random waffle maker you haven't touched since Obama was president. If you're nodding, stick with us. Today, the Senior Nest is dropping the happy birthday rule, a game-changing trick to help seniors and anyone, really, keep their home clean, organized, and stress-free. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be tossing clutter like a Gen Z influencer decluttering their TikTok feed. Let's dive in. Part 1. What's the happy birthday rule? Yo, Nest fam, let's spill the tea on the happy birthday rule. The ultimate clutter-busting hack that's about to make your home feel like a 5-star Airbnb. Picture this. You're holding a dusty old blender, a stack of magazines from 2015, or that random fondue pot your cousin swore was life-changing. Now ask yourself two simple questions. Have I used you in the last 12 months? If not, am I dead certain I'll use you in the next 12? If you're shaking your head like, nah bro, that item's just a freeloader hogging space and stressing you out. It's clutter and it's gotta go, say peace out and wave it goodbye. So why's this rule so legit? The 1-year mark is like a magic wand. It covers every season, every holiday, every barbecue, and every maybe I'll bake a cake moment. If that blender hasn't blended a smoothie since your grandkid's last birthday, it's not earning its keep. This rule is a total game changer for seniors because it's as easy as pie. No apps, no spreadsheets, just you and your stuff having a quick heart-to-heart. It's like Marie Kondo, but with a sassy Gen Z twist that doesn't make you fold socks for hours. Here, the real talk, clutter isn't just stuff. It's a sneaky energy vampire, that unused coffee maker. It's not just sitting there, it's begging to be dusted, moved, or tripped over when you're rushing to make breakfast. For seniors, this is huge. A cluttered home can make cleaning feel like climbing Mount Everest, and it's a safety hazard if you're navigating with a walker or cane. The happy birthday rule cuts through that chaos like a ninja, helping you reclaim your space and your sanity. Let's paint a picture. Imagine your kitchen counter free of random gadgets with just your favorite coffee mug and a toaster that actually gets used. You walk in and instead of stress, you feel calm. You're not wrestling with a million things to find your spatula. That's the vibe we're chasing. Plus, this rule isn't judgy. It's not about how much stuff you have. It's about keeping what serves you. For our Nest fam, that means a home that's easy to clean, safe to move around in, and ready for game nights with the grandkids. And here's a little secret. The happy birthday rule is low-key fun. It's like playing detective with your own stuff. You'll be shocked at how many things haven't celebrated a birthday in your house. So grab that dusty waffle maker, give it the birthday test, and get ready to transform your home into a clutter-free paradise. Stay tuned because we're about to drop more hacks to make this even easier. Part 2. Why it works plus real-life stories. Alright, Nest fam, let's get real. Why does the happy birthday rule slap so hard? It's not just a cute trick, it's like a superpower for your home. Science backs this up. We're total creatures of habit, using the same 20% of our stuff 80% of the time. That means 80% of your belongings. Those extra mugs, old VHS tapes, or that bread maker you bought during a midnight infomercial are just squatting in your space, draining your energy like a Wi-Fi router with 20 tabs open. The happy birthday rule is your secret weapon to kick those freeloaders out and make your home a Zen paradise, especially for our senior squad who deserve a space that's easy to manage and pure vibes. Let's talk about why this rule is a big deal for seniors. Clutter isn't just annoying, it's a health thief. Piles of stuff make cleaning feel like a CrossFit workout, increase stress, hello, cortisol spikes, and can even be a tripping hazard if you're using a cane or walker. By only keeping what you've used in the last year, you're not just tidying up, you're creating a safer, calmer home where you can sip coffee without dodging a tower of old mail. Plus, it saves you time and money. Think about it. Less stuff means less cleaning, fewer duplicate purchases, and more cash for grandkids spoiling or that cruise you've been eyeing. Now, let me spill some tea with a real-life story. Meet my Uncle Joe, a 70-year-old legend who had a garage packed tighter than a Black Friday sale. He had everything: old golf clubs, a popcorn machine from the 90s, and enough extension cords to power a small village. Joe was stressed every time he needed to find a screwdriver because his garage was a maze. I sat him down and said, "Uncle Joe, let's try the happy birthday rule." We went through his stuff and that popcorn machine. No birthday in a decade, same with half those cords. We boxed them up for donation, and within a week, Joe's garage was so organized he could park his car inside for the first time in years. He told me, "I feel 10 years younger. I'm even thinking about starting a woodworking hobby now." That's the power of this rule. It's not just about decluttering, it's about unlocking space for new passions. Here's another gem. My friend Clara, 65, had a kitchen overflowing with just-in-case items: 3 sets of measuring cups, a waffle iron she hadn't used since her kids were little, and a juicer she bought after a New Year's resolution in 2005. She was overwhelmed, spending hours cleaning instead of chilling with her book club. We applied the happy birthday rule, and Clara realized she only needed 1 set of measuring cups and hadn't touched the juicer in forever. She donated the extras, and now her kitchen is a breeze to maintain. Clara's words: "I didn't know how much my stuff was weighing me down until I let it go. Now I've got time for me." Her book club even started meeting at her place because her kitchen's so inviting. The happy birthday rule works because it's like a truth serum for your stuff. It forces you to be honest about what you actually use, cutting through the "but I might need it someday" excuses. For seniors, this is a lifeline. It simplifies your home, reduces stress, and makes every day feel lighter. You're not just decluttering, you're designing a space that screams, "This is my nest and it's awesome." Stay tuned for our next trick to make letting go even easier. Part 3, the "What if I regret it?" hack. Alright, Nest fam, let's tackle the biggest roadblock to decluttering. That nagging voice whispering, "But what if I need this waffle maker someday? What if I regret tossing those old jeans?" We've all been there, especially when it's stuff we shelled out good money for or that's tied to memories. But don't sweat it. The Senior Nest has your back with the Time Will Tell box, a genius hack that's like a safety net for your decluttering journey. This trick is pure gold for seniors, making it easy to let go without the fear of "oops, I messed up." Here's how it works. Grab any old box, cardboard, a plastic tote, or even that fancy basket you've been hiding in the closet. When you pick up an item that fails the happy birthday rule but you're not ready to yeet it into the donation pile, pop it into the Time Will Tell box. Label it with the date, stash it in the garage, attic, or a spare corner, and set a phone reminder for 3-6 months. Your mission: live your life and see if you miss that item. If you don't, it's ready to find a new home at the thrift store. If you do, you can pull it back out, no harm, no foul. It's like a decluttering trial run that takes the pressure off. Why is this hack a lifesaver for seniors? First, it respects your pace. Decluttering can feel overwhelming, especially if you've got decades of treasures. The Time Will Tell box lets you dip your toes in without diving headfirst, which is perfect if you're hesitant or have sentimental attachments. Second, it's a stress buster. Instead of agonizing over every decision, you're just parking stuff temporarily, giving your brain a break. And third, it's practical. Seniors often worry about wasting money or losing something useful, but this method proves you don't need most of that stuff, freeing up space for what really matters, like a cozy reading nook or a puzzle table for the grandkids. Let me share a story about my neighbor, Mrs. Evelyn, a 73-year-old sweetheart with a heart of gold and a basement full of just-in-case items. She had a collection of old baking pans, muffin tins, cake molds, you name it, because she used to host big family bake-offs. But her knees aren't what they used to be, and she hadn't baked in years. When we tried the happy birthday rule, she got stuck on those pans. "I spent so much on these, and what if the kids want to bake someday?" she said. So we created a Time Will Tell box, tossed the pans in, and tucked it in her garage. 4 months later, Evelyn checked the box and laughed. I didn't even think about those pans. My kitchen's so much easier to navigate now. And she donated them to a local community center, and now they're being used for cooking classes. Evelyn's basement is less cluttered, and she feels lighter knowing her pans are sparking joy elsewhere. Another example. My dad, Frank, 68, was clinging to a box of old tech, think flip phones, a Walkman, and cables for gadgets that don't exist anymore. He was convinced he'd figure out how to use them someday. The happy birthday rule flagged them as clutter, but he wasn't ready to let go. We made a time will tell box, labeled it Tech Time Capsule, and set it aside. 3 months in, he needed a cable and realized he hadn't even opened the box. By month 6, he was ready to donate it all, saying, "Why was I stressing over this junk? My office feels like a new room." That box gave him the confidence to declutter without fear, and now he's got space for his model train hobby. The Time Will Tell box is like a decluttering therapist. It helps you process your attachment to stuff without judgment. For seniors, it's a gentle way to simplify your home, reduce cleaning time, and make your space safer and more functional. You're not saying goodbye forever. You're just hitting pause to see what you really need. And trust me, most of the time, you'll realize you're happier without that extra baggage. Get ready, because next up, we're dropping another hack to make decluttering feel like an act of love. Part 4. Level up with the gifting mindset. Yo, Nest fam, let's take decluttering to a whole new level with a mindset that's gonna warm your heart and clear your space like nobody's business. Say hello to the gifting mindset, the secret sauce that turns letting go of stuff into an act of pure kindness. Instead of feeling guilty about ditching that barely used slow cooker or those extra throw pillows, imagine passing them on to someone who will light up like it's Christmas morning. This hack is a total vibe for seniors, transforming decluttering from a chore into a feel-good mission that makes your home and the world a better place. Here's the deal. When you apply the happy birthday rule and spot something that's gotta go, don't just see it as trash. Picture it finding a new home where it'll be loved. That slow cooker you haven't touched in years. It could be a lifeline for a young family at the thrift store. Those extra blankets clogging your closet, they're cozy gold for a local shelter. The gifting mindset flips the script on guilt, especially for seniors who hate wasting money or letting go of things tied to memories. It's not about losing stuff. It's about sharing joy and giving your belongings a second life. Why is this mindset so powerful for our Senior Nest crew? First, it taps into your generous spirit. Seniors often love giving back, whether it's baking cookies for neighbors or passing down family stories. The gifting mindset lets you extend that love to strangers, making decluttering feel like a legacy of kindness. Second, it eases the emotional sting. Letting go of stuff you paid good money for or got as a gift can feel like a punch to the gut, but imagining someone else cherishing it softens the blow. And third, it's practical. Less stuff means less to clean, fewer tripping hazards, and a home that's safer and easier to navigate, giving you more time for what you love, like gardening or card games with friends. Let me spill some tea with a story about my Aunt Margaret, a 76-year-old dynamo who had a dining room packed with fancy china she hadn't used since her kids moved out. Those plates were gorgeous, but they were collecting dust and stressing her out every time she opened the cabinet. When we ran the happy birthday rule, the china didn't make the cut, but Margaret hesitated. "I spent a fortune on these and they were for special occasions," she said. I introduced the gifting mindset and said, "Auntie, imagine a newlywed couple finding these at Goodwill, making their first Thanksgiving epic." Her eyes sparkled, and she donated the whole set to a local charity shop. A month later, she ran into a young woman at the store who'd bought her plates and was gushing about how they made her family dinners feel special. Margaret beamed, saying, "I'm not missing those plates one bit. I'm thrilled they're being loved." Another gem, my friend Mr. Thompson, 71, had a shed full of old tools, drills, saws, you name it, from his days as a weekend DIY warrior. His arthritis made woodworking tough, but he felt guilty about letting the tools go. "They're still good and I worked hard to buy them," he said. We talked about the gifting mindset and I suggested, what if these tools help a young carpenter start their business? That clicked. He donated them to a vocational school, and a teacher later told him the students were using them for hands-on projects. Mr. Thompson said, "I feel like I'm part of their success now. My shed's empty, but my heart's full." His home's safer now too, with less clutter to trip over. The gifting mindset is like a warm hug for your soul. It takes the pain out of decluttering and replaces it with purpose. For seniors, it's a game changer. Your home becomes a clutter-free sanctuary, your stress levels drop, and you get to spread kindness like confetti. Every item you gift is a little spark of joy for someone else, and that's a legacy worth building. Stick with us because we've got one more trick to make your home the ultimate nest. Part 5. Life Lessons from the Happy Birthday Rule. Alright, Nest Fam, we're at the grand finale of our decluttering adventure, and it's time to drop some serious wisdom. The Happy Birthday Rule isn't just about clearing out your closets or making your kitchen Instagram-worthy. It's a straight-up life changer that teaches you lessons bigger than a tidy home. For our senior squad, this is the key to unlocking a space that's safe, stress-free, and ready for all the good vibes. Whether that's hosting family dinners or finally mastering that ukulele you've been eyeing. Let's unpack the 3 big life lessons this rule brings and why they're a total win for you. Lesson 1. Your stuff should work for you, not the other way around. Think about it, every item in your home is like an employee. If your old bread maker or that stack of expired coupons isn't pulling its weight, it's time to fire it. The Happy Birthday Rule forces you to ask, is this thing making my life easier? If it's just sitting there stressing you out or tripping you up, it's not your friend. For seniors, this is huge. Less stuff means less cleaning, fewer hazards, no more dodging clutter with a walker, and more energy for what lights you up, like gardening or storytelling with the grandkids. Your home should be your sanctuary, not a storage unit. Lesson 2. Letting go is your ticket to freedom. Holding onto stuff, especially things you paid good money for or got as gifts, can feel like carrying a backpack full of bricks. The Happy Birthday Rule, paired with the time will tell box and gifting mindset, shows you that letting go doesn't mean losing. It means gaining space, peace, and even joy. Seniors, this is your superpower. A clutter-free home reduces anxiety, makes daily tasks easier, and opens up room for new memories, like turning your spare room into a craft haven instead of a junk magnet. You're not defined by your stuff. You're defined by the life you live in your nest. Lesson 3. You're enough just as you are. Here's the real tea. We often keep stuff because we think it says something about who we are. That fancy juicer you never use, it's not proof you're healthy. Those old suits from your corporate days, they don't define your worth. The Happy Birthday Rule helps you see that your value isn't tied to your belongings, it's in your stories, your laughter, your love. For seniors, this lesson is pure gold. It's about embracing the present, not clinging to the past, and creating a home that reflects who you are now, a rock star ready to live your best life. Let me share a story about my Grandma Rosie, a 78-year-old firecracker who used to hoard everything, old magazines, knickknacks, even a broken clock she swore she'd fix. Her house was so cluttered she stopped inviting friends over and it was bumming her out. We started with the Happy Birthday Rule and at first she was nervous. "These things are my life," she said. But as we sorted, gifted, and boxed stuff, she realized most of it was just noise. That broken clock, it hadn't ticked in 20 years. She donated it and turned her living room into a cozy spot for her knitting club. Now Rosie's house is her happy place. She's hosting game nights again and she told me, "I didn't know how trapped I felt until I let go. I'm living for me now." Her smile says it all. Decluttering set her free. One more for the road. My Uncle Carl, 69, had a garage stuffed with camping gear from his younger days, tents, lanterns, the works. He kept it because it reminded him of the good old days, but it was making his home feel chaotic. The happy birthday rule showed him he hadn't camped in a decade. With the gifting mindset, he donated the gear to a scout troop, and the kids sent him a thank you note saying his stuff made their first campout epic. Carl's garage is now a workshop for his model planes, and he says, "I'm not my old gear, I'm the guy building planes and loving life." That's the magic of these lessons. They're about creating a home that lifts you up. The happy birthday rule is more than a decluttering trick. It's a roadmap to a lighter, happier you. For seniors, it means a safer home, less stress, and more time for what matters, whether that's family, hobbies, or just chilling with a good book. You're not just tidying up, you're crafting a nest that's all about you. Keep rocking it, Nest Fam, and let's make every day feel like a fresh start. That's a wrap, Nest Fam. If you loved this vibe, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a tip from the Senior Nest. Got a clutter story or a question? Spill the tea in the comments. Let's keep our homes clean, our hearts light, and our vibes high. See you next time. Peace out.